midweek review. So this Wednesday we had an opportunity to pray together. We took what we learned the week before about Jesus and how in the Lord's Prayer he was teaching his disciples, his followers, how to pray. And we broke it down and started understanding the ways that we needed to pray, the elements kind of that Jesus had in his prayer. We practiced that on Wednesday night, and it was awesome to get to see you guys praising God, lifting requests to God for yourself and on behalf of your friends, taking time to admit to God the junk that's been going on or the stuff that you've been unwilling to let up to him, and trusting that God, he hears it, he's willing to listen, and he's willing and able to forgive and cleanse you of that unrighteousness and to sprinkle you with a clean conscience. And it was amazing to watch you guys sit in silence and yield before God to go, God, what is it that you'd have me do? God, what is it that I've been neglecting to do? God, what areas of my life have I not been giving to you? What areas of my life I've been holding on to and refusing to let you in? And to start listening to God and hearing from God these things that are going on. And I want to invite you guys into something here. We need to not let prayer just be a one night, thing where we get together and we're like, oh, this was really cool. We got to pray and talk to God. I want you to realize how easy it was to open our mouths, to out loud with words talk to God, to silently in our heart talk to God. And just understanding that God hears us, he listens, and God wants to hear from us. He calls for us to pray continually, to pray without end to him, to come before him regularly. Now, if you remember, we talked a couple weeks ago about how Jesus, it's mentioned in the Gospels over 45 times of where Jesus went off by himself to pray. And I want to invite you to something. As Christians, the word Christian means little Christ. It's like a small version of Christ. And we're called to be like him, to follow that example. And I want to invite you guys to understand that, you know what? Jesus depended on the Father through prayer. And we need to do the same thing. And we need to spend that time in prayer. You guys have been maybe catching up with your friends through some Snapchat streaks that you've been going back and forth on. Some of you guys got super long streaks going, and I want to invite you to try something. Have a streak going with God in prayer. Take some time to come before God every single day and see how long you can go. See how long you can continue meeting with God every single day, being in the relationship with him that he's already in with you, joining in that, having that communication. Because when we're in a friendship that we never talk, it kind of isn't really a friendship. In fact, there's no relationship there at all. So I want to invite you to spend some time in prayer with God on a daily basis over these next few weeks here. Start doing it. Start that process. It starts as a habit that we have to create. It may start kind of as a drone kind of thing, going, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Later it becomes a habit, and then after that it becomes something that we hunger for, we thirst for, we desire to come before God, because we start to see how important it is to our faith to be in connection with him. So I want to invite you to do that. If you're wondering what can I be praying for, here's something I want to invite you to do. Think about a friend or family member who doesn't know Christ, and I want you to start lifting them up in prayer, praying for their salvation. Some of you guys have already been doing this. Some of you guys have never done that before, and I want to invite you to start doing it, because God's desire is that no one would perish, nobody be separated from him forever. And our opportunity and our call is to share that message. But we need to come before God, the one who gives power and opportunity for us to do that. And we need to ask him on behalf of our friends, God, would you start reaching their heart and building opportunities for me to share that message? I want to invite you to do that starting this week. Hey, if you've got a story that you've been sharing the gospel with friends, I want to hear from you. Not because I want to brag about our youth group and what God's doing, but because I want to use those stories to motivate others to see that, you know what, I'm not the only one who feels this call. And you know what, I'm not the only one who wants to do this. Or maybe, man, I didn't know anybody was actually doing this. Maybe I need to figure this out a little bit more. Maybe I need to jump on it. So share those stories with me. You can come and tell them to me. You can send me them in a message. But I want to hear your stories. And I want to hear what God is doing and how God's growing you as you go out and do the work that you're called to do by sharing the message of God. So I just want to let you know, coming up in these next few weeks, we're going to break into our new structure of youth group. We're going to have small groups going. We're going to have separate teaching for middle school and high school. I'm super excited about this because of the opportunities it's going to create for community. I want to invite you to invite a friend so that they can start to experience something totally different about what it is to be a believer than they've ever seen before. Invite friends who know Christ. Invite friends who don't know Christ, because each and everyone needs to start seeing what it is to be part of the body of Christ. For those that know Christ, it draws them further into to Christ and knowing the importance of it. For those that don't know Christ, it gives them an opportunity to see what it is to actually know Christ, to be in community with other believers, to start to chase after God in a different way. And it will build opportunity for us to share that message of truth with them. So that's coming up over the next few weeks here. Super excited about it. Can't wait to see you guys this Wednesday. We'll see you later.